Today on Okami Good MTG, we're playing Exhaust Moneyball, which is our standard Moneyball deck, which is cheap, powerful green creatures, and with exhaust built into it, which would be like Afterburner and the Stampeding Scurryfoot. If that sounds interesting to you, then stay tuned to find out more. Hello and welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I'm your host, somebody who firmly believes in you, despite what your mama says, Dr. Yukon SuckIt. Yes, thank you. Filmed for a live studio audience. Thank you so much, Yukon SuckIt. Word to your mama. So I'm broadcasting to you today from my secret underground headquarters, and I'm bringing to you a deck of my own creation. It is called, in this case, Exhaust Moneyball. So the deal is I created a Moneyball deck a long time ago, which is where I noticed something, right? Which was that all you need is like 3 creatures that deal 3 points of damage on the regular as quickly as possible, and you can win games consistently. And the reason why is because we only start off with 20 life, and 3 times 3 is 9. You hit somebody like with right off the bat with 3, that brings them down to like 17. Anyways, you get up to that point where you're dealing 9 per turn, people are dead pretty quickly. And so the more trample you have on top of that, the better off that you tend to be. That's what Moneyball is all about. Cheap creatures that you're getting your damage to, powerful and consistent. Now today what we did is we mixed together some cards from Aetherdrift in here, and we put in exhaust. So we got like the Afterburner Expert, who can be 2 points stronger, so he becomes a 6/4. And when you do any sort of exhaust, then you can return him from the graveyard back to the battlefield, which is a lot of value. And we got the Stampeding Scurryfoot, which has exhaust also 4, but he becomes a 2/2, but then puts out a 3/3 elephant, and 3/3 is right there in Moneyball range. All right, so there we go. Let's take a look. What we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the cards in this deck. We'll talk a little bit how it should work, and then we're going to go out and crush some hopes and dreams. What do we got here today? We got a guy that gets bigger whenever you put out another bigger guy. The ability to make your guy deal damage to another creature or planeswalker. This guy is what you could drop for 1, and then by turn 4, you can do some awesomer things with them. This guy is equal to the amount of mana you pump into him, and then if he dies, you get treasure tokens equal to its power. He's got Vigilance, Trample, and Haste. Aloe Alchemist gives one of your guys +3/+2 in Trample if you plot him. Otherwise, he comes out when he does, and he's a 3/2 with Trample. Cankerbloom, you can destroy it to get rid of a target artifact enchantment, or you can proliferate, putting more counters on your stuff. Ozolith, anytime you put a counter on something, you could put an additional counter on it, and you could put more counters on stuff as well. Beastcaller gets a counter every time you put a creature out. Whenever it dies, you take all the counters and distribute it amongst your dudes. Afterburner Expert's a 4/2 for 3. Great Moneyball character, because 3 is the most you want to pay for a guy. And you could pay 4 to give him 2 more counters. And then if somebody exhausts, or if you exhaust, you get to pull him from your graveyard back to the battlefield. This guy comes out. You can help you look for, you guys map tokens, which help you look for lands or put in popo counters on stuff. This guy is a 4/5 for 3, which is great. If you can get up to 6, you can transform him into a 6/6. And if that thing dies, then you can create 2 3/3 Hydras. Axebane Ferox comes out for 4. He's at the extent of what you want a Moneyball. But Death Touch, Haste, and Ward is over the top. So he's probably the top of what you want to put into a Moneyball deck. Except for I've got Tyrranax Rex in there. He's a 7. That is way too expensive for Moneyball. The problem is sometimes a Moneyball deck gets to the point where you got enough mana to do crazy things with it. This guy dies, maybe you got a bunch of stuff. You know what we're going to do? Tyrranax Rex. There's only 2 of them in here. And it just gives you something to do with all the mana you sometimes get. And they can't defend against it because it's got Trample and Haste, baby. Trample and Haste. Last thing, the other weirdest thing I put in here is March of the World Ooze. I had a lot of fun with this at one point. It costs you 6. That's well over the top. But I figured, once again, if I got enough mana, sure. And what does it do? all your creatures become 6/6s, which means all these guys would trample, get 6/6 for bases, and then they get their pluses on top of that. And whenever an opponent casts a spell, if it's not their turn, you create 3/3 Elephant Ooze. So fantastic. All right, and this guy, he comes out too. Little mites, why not? That's your man land. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to get guys out. We're going to attack consistently, and they're going to be powerful hits. We got enough dudes out that we're going to be able to hit powerfully all the time. Goldvein Hydra will hopefully rocket us into the ability to start putting out big dudes when it gets killed. And other than that, we'll just have to do the best of what we got. All right, so before we go out and do our damage, let's do as we do every night. Let's say our prayers and talk about what is best in life. Hands together. Dear Black Queen Black Queen Sholdred, who dwells within the dark chambers of my heart, please hear my prayers and grant your blessings as we attempt to crush our enemies, see them driven before us, and to hear the lamentations of the women. All right, we're playing against LasherMX. And let's turn off the beastie, and we're good. All right, so we got nothing really going on here that we really want to do. We really want to put the Hydra out. Let's just wait. We're cool. All right, so the deal is I'm planning on throwing out the Hydra. I get him out for 3. That's 3 mana on top of the 4, puts us at 7, which is what we need for Tyrranax. So this is the turn to do it. And in we go. And there's the kill. Oh, but I don't have any power. Oh, he did it exactly the worst way. Ridiculous. Pump. And gone. All right, so we're at 5 mana. We need 7 for our Tyrranax. I could probably pump up Afterburner, but let's just see what's going on. Are you going to block it with your Soul Coil of Viper? What does that thing do? Target creature in graveyard, banana counter, anything in here? Not really. Seems to me like you want to play Graveyard Recursion, but you don't have anything good in there. He's got another one. All right, I don't know what you're thinking about there. You got 2 mana. Obviously, you got cards in your hand you can play. Ooh, should we trample? Is that the deal here? Let's take a look here. Yep. Bot. There, you can't do anything with that. Yeah, chump ahead, man. Double chump. All right, he's down to 8. Both those guys are dead. And we're locked and loaded there. We got lethal showing right now. He's right at the board like a suckerfish. All right, please, man, just give me another mana. That's all I need. You can see where I got my hand. Mana. Mana, we got this thing wrapped up. Magic is easy when you get what you ask for. We haven't even made it to his attack phase yet. You got rid of Exhaust Boy 2000. Mana! And we win! Magic is easy when you get what you ask for. Victory! All right, playing against Wiggle Baron. All right, little guy. What do we got? 3, 4. Good. Watch the curve. He's really willing to sacrifice himself for that. All right, good for him. Okay, I need mana. That is not mana. See, if I put out the Goldvein Hydra, I'm only going to get 1 treasure out of the dude if he dies. All right, Polukranos. We're coming in fast. All right, I don't know why you're dragging this out. Feel free to block. You could lose some dudes. It's totally fine, man. All right, you got some trick up your sleeve. I don't have the mana for Polukranos to go crazy. Okay, we gotta do this, start getting some treasures. He's trying to go wide. He's got a chump. There we go. I appreciate if you could kill off the Goldvein. That'd be pretty nice. It's down to 4. We're at 20 still. He didn't kill off the Goldvein like I'd hoped. There we go. All right. And number 4. Here we go. That's what I'm looking for, is just be able to put that guy out. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. And indestructible. That's going to buy you a turn. Problem is you gotta block wide if you want to survive. He's back there doing math right now. You're really gonna let the 6 in, huh? There you go. You did 4 through, huh? That's crazy. That looks like 0. And we win! Victory! We're playing against Okami. Okami. What are we getting rid of here? I kind of need the mana, that's the problem. All right, we're good. And again, he's going after something. Let's just get rid of one of those guys. All right, in for 2. All right, no ability to do anything yet. Well, that means I gotta save my mana. All right, I guess I didn't need my mana as much as I thought I would. 1, 2. Let's take it in, Billie Jean King. All right, Super Mouse, you're the thing that has to give me something good on the next turn. I've yet to see it actually pan out. It's just a 1-drop. Everybody kills it. All right, let's do it. And they're back. All right, he's down to 11. Trying to Esper me like you own the place. Let's go. What can these guys do? Pop. Roll this guy back for a second. Maybe I would have won if I would have done that. I didn't do the math. And we win. Apparently we didn't need it. Victory. All right, playing against Dethlock. It'd be nice to get to that. That'd be great. Doubt it. All right, we got a guy. Yeah, I'll let it happen. Don't worry. There we go. And we're done. Is he going to try to keep counterspelling me? Counterspells are the devil. All right, I'm going to go for this. Then we can put it up as a 3/3. If we lose it, it'll give us some treasure. The treasure is exactly what I need. None of you guys are that powerful, man. All right, you gonna double block? You just let it through. Letting it through, huh? All right. Here's a Sentinel. Apparently you need to counterspell stuff because that's all you got the ability to do. You got another one in there? I don't know. Let's just see. Let's Polukranos and see what happens here. Now I wish I woulda, coulda, shoulda. All right, and in we go. You can try to chump. That'll save your life, but you'll have to lose a lot to do it. You have to chump with all three of you guys. Or I guess no, that'll do it. That and one more. All right, he's down to 3. Does he have what it takes? Shazam! And he's over here dorking around. He's only got 2 mana left. Now he's got 3. That's what he drew, huh? Does Polukranos got trample? Just reach, huh? And we win! And we win! Victory! Alright, we're playing against WiseGreen. WiseGreen. Alright, let's just make it to the bear can dance around with that crystal in front of his face the whole time. I always like it. All right, let's plot up. You're very irate because you can't touch your green Edie crystal. Here, Cubert, here's some Energon cubes for you. What? That's the guy I can put out? All right, there you go. He's out. And we're done. One, two, three. Land it. Don't counter it. Cool. And here we go. Get our other boy out. Yeah, I need a Hydra to die so we can get Tyrranax Rex out. He's 7. We've got 4 showing at the moment. We need 3 more mana. A nice dead Goldvein Hydra would be a good way to get that mana. One, two, three, 4. In we go. All right, so if he doesn't kill off his dragon, he can live. If he doesn't, then he dies. There you go. Down to 1. I got enough for a Tyrranax next turn. And he's a tramply 8/8 with haste. And we win! Suck it! Yeah, that was cool. And we're playing against Brisfit. All right, Scurryfoot. I've made this guy work out once. He's nothing until you have 4 mana out, but still he's something you could do in your first couple of turns. You have the 4 mana. All right, should we hard hit and question this guy? He's up to a 3. So let's throw this guy out. He's got a 4. Take him out. And in we go. Moneyball. One, two, 3. There you go. We'll see what he goes after. Hopefully he goes after the Goldvein Hydra. That would be the awesomest. No, he just let it happen. He's down to 2. What craziness is this? Almost doesn't matter who you take, man. Life game, that sucks. It does matter. Block him. All right, we got a full meal deal. Don't wipe the board. 6, huh? Still don't have the mana I need. Where is my boy? I guess I don't have any of those boys, do I? And we win! Victory! All right, so here we are with our Moneyball deck, mono green. This one featuring a bunch of exhaust cards. And yeah, they were good. The exhaust cards were awesome. I really liked it when the Afterburner Experts came flying back in when I played the other exhaust cards, which was the Stampeding Scurryfoot. They were good. Yeah, I don't know. I think I might even like the Scurry Feet better than the Evolving Adaptive. These guys really didn't grow that much, but these guys had a lot of potential. Plus, they comboed well with the Afterburner Expert. So absolutely, I could see even more changes this thing with using Exhaust in it. It was great because, you know, the whole thing about Moneyball is about getting your guys out cheap and early, but having them be powerful enough to do what they need to do. And with Exhaust, you're able to get them out early, even though they're not powerful, but pay for that extra power later when you do have the mana for it. And both of them were 4s. So it was a little much for this, what I would hope for, you know, because 3 is that magic number, but it turned out not to be a big deal. In fact, I could give up on the Ozolith. It probably wasn't necessary. So yeah, I think we got a good basis for moving forth on another Moneyball deck, but I'll just leave it for this right now. It was definitely a great deck. I had a lot of good time playing with it, and it did very well. All right, so who was the MVP? Who was the most valuable player? You know, putting March of the World Ooze in there is great, but it is really expensive for this deck, and it's not really a ramp deck. I mean, I guess Goldvein Hydra really kind of bounced you to where you could potentially do it, but people like seem to know you got to stay away from the Goldvein Hydra or do quirky things to it to be able to get it to it doesn't provide the value that it should have. I'm just trying to look at see who else we were playing with here. Aloe Alchemist was fantastic, provided a lot of value. But I kind of feel like how I'm going to give it to Aloe Alchemist. I'm going to say he was the MVP. The reason why is because of that value. You're able to give one of your other guys +3/+2 and trample, and then you put him out as a 3/2 with trample himself immediately afterwards, because that puts him right into the golden zone of Moneyball. That 3, and you got him out relatively early, plus pumping up something else, which is already out, which usually like an Evolving Adaptive or the Scurryfoot, making him into like a 4/3 with trample on turn 2. Yeah, that was really good. So I'm going to give it to Aloe Alchemist. I mean, he wasn't fantastic. A lot of decks were very close to him. But I just think that of the cards, the decks are in here, he probably was the best card for this particular deck. We got a lot of great cards, but these guys are a little on the expensive side. Normally, in the olden days, I didn't put expensive cards into the Moneyball deck. But then I got to a point where I'd have lots of mana and nothing to do with it. So I tried to put some light cards in there, just a little bit on the light side, so that we could play the expensive stuff and really have an in-game worth working with. And you know what? It's worked out great. I've been able to play Tyrranax Rex a lot and win games with them while using the rest of it to really nail people down to where they need to go to. So yeah, I'm going to give it to Aloe Alchemist. Congratulations, my friend. You are today's MVP. You're going to Disneyland. All right, number 2, was this deck competitive? I ended up with a 70% win rate. 7-0. That is a competitive deck. Took it out onto the ladder. I did well over there as well. So yeah, this appears to be a fairly competitive deck. Number 2, was this deck fun? Yep, look at that. Number 1, 2, 3. That is the mark of a good aggro deck, which is what I need to be able to do. Even though I was holding on to the Goldvein Hydra, you really can't play him until turn 2. The Scurryfoot was great. Evolving Adaptive was okay. In fact, I got to say, I kind of really like the Scurryfoots. I think these guys are excellent. These guys will go up easily to 2 and 3. Maybe in a Moneyball deck, Evolving Deck is probably the better one. But man, Scurryfoot is great. The fact that he puts out that 3/3 elephant at turn 4 is really good. But you're moving straight in for 2s. These guys get up and you start moving right into it. Yeah, it's a nice, fast deck. The thing is, though, is that the longer you play, the more options you have and the better things become. I kind of feel like we need a little bit more of the hard-hitting questions, maybe another 4 more of that thing where you're dealing damage to other people, just because I'm a big fan of creature control. But I don't know. It did well, so there's no reason to rock the boat too much. Let's move on then. Was this deck interesting? I like playing Moneyball. I like it because, you know, I felt like I've invented it. I like you just can't say it's a Moneyball deck with the Tyrranax in there, though. That's the problem. Axebane is the top of the list. But man, it's like I tell you, if I can get to a Tyrranax, it works good. This is almost mid-range because of that. I mean, we can use all the mana we do get to slam it into a Goldvein Hydra. You know, that's really good. But still, if he dies, you got all that money, that mana. What are you going to do with it? Tyrranax Rex. As long as there's just a few in there, this guy has totally worked well. Like 3 mana, you got at least 3 right there. You know, we don't have much haste, but we do have it when it comes to this guy and this guy. This guy is the most Moneyball guy we got in this entire deck. He is fantastic. In fact, he should probably be the MVP. It's just that I'm always holding back because personally, I'm the kind of guy that holds off too long to put him out. Alchemist, he's got his limit. You put him at 2, you just play it. Everything's good. Goldvein Hydra has Vigilance and Trample and Haste and turns into mana. And so therefore, he really is really excellent, but he tempts me. He makes me hold on to him for too long, and I don't play him. You want to get him out when you have 4. That's the problem. Then you're waiting for 4, because that way you're getting out for 3. That additional 3 then makes it to where you can pay 7, which is where you're doing Tyrranax Rex. That's the problem, is that he tempts me into holding on to him too long. That's my problem with him. That's more of a me thing than anything else. All right, but is it an interesting deck? I think so. I think it's a great deck. There's a little bit of utility, but it's mostly focused on playing those relatively cheap guys that have good power and trample. All right, so there you go. Let's count it up. Was this deck competitive? Yes. Was it fun? Absolutely. Was it interesting? Totes. That makes this into an A+ deck. A+. And as I'm required by federal law to say, this deck is so choice. I'd highly recommend you pick one up should you have the means. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the secret underground headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. In the words of my people, screw you guys, I'm going home. Bye.